Say hello to the people, Phil.
Hello. And welcome to another vlog here at
Longmeadow.
Merseybeat, in the shadow of John Lennon's old school, which is just over there, where he used to jump over and nick apples from the allotment site here.
Amongst other things.
It's at Harthill Allotment's Wartime Gardens in Liverpool. So, we're in the greenhouse and it's positively balmy. What date is it today?
7th of June.
7th of June, early June, and we've got summer has arrived at last.
Look at the temperatures.
What is it on the temperature thing?
Well, it's been a 34.8 now, but it's been a maximum
in the greenhouse
of 39.
Yeah, in the greenhouse over the last few days. We haven't been down for a few days, but today we're not going to give you an allotment tour. We're just going to give you an update on some of the things that we've featured in previous vlogs and how they're coming along, such as how our potatoes are doing and how our onions are doing, and introducing you to some new crops that we're growing this year that we've never grown before.
What's this year?
There are several things that we're growing that we've never done before, and perhaps you have grown these, or perhaps you haven't.
Callaloo's one of them. Oh no, we've grown that previously.
Callaloo is
before.
one that
nice.
we've grown before, and we'll be telling you a bit about Callaloo. Also, okra.
That's a new one for us this year.
Which we're going to grow in the greenhouse and outside. We're going to try it in two different places. Okra. So we're going to try and grow them in various places. We're also growing tomatillos, which are related to tomatoes. Anybody ever grown them?
Yeah.
Who?
Me.
You've never grown them before?
I'm growing them this year.
Yeah, but you've never grown them before, have you? It's the first time you've grown them.
I'm growing them now.
This isn't going well, is it? I wanted an upbeat, jolly kind of intro, and this is just turning out right.
Well, you need to project a jolly, upbeat type of mood then.
Do you know what? I used to have a
life.
No, I didn't. Be silly now, Catherine.
Sorry.
I used to have a Flickr account. In fact, I've still got it somewhere.
Still have?
The Melancholic Gardener.
You can see why.
You know why I'm melancholic? Things never go the way you want them to, you know? And it doesn't do you any good.
Can you speed up the process now and maybe put a bit of something around it?
What? What do I have to do? I know you enjoy our banter. No, I don't think you do, actually. I think you just want to learn about how things grow and stuff like that.
So what else is new for this year on the plot?
Well, we've got different varieties of many things that we've never grown before, which is really interesting. Such as onions that are kind of like, you know, Paris silver skin, and
Bulgarian leeks is another new one.
Bulgarian leeks is new one. So there's new varieties of things. I'm going to give you an update on what we're growing, then you can come back to us here. And we see how we got on with that. So let's have a go. Let's have a look around.
So this is the Roman chamomile that we planted.
Yeah.
We've actually built a bed that's much bigger than it originally was. So these are great for when you're picking the flower heads and you're making some lovely tea with them. And as you do pick them, they've got a really gorgeous smell, haven't they? Really nice, especially in the warm weather like this.
So this is how we harvest our chamomile, Roman chamomile.
Just gently snap the heads.
Yeah.
But smell that.
So it's the flower heads, isn't it?
Oh, it smells lovely.
Pick them. You've taken the heads off the flowers there. What are you doing?
I know someone who grew tomatoes once.
Yes.
And their wife cut the flowers and put them in a vase. That's not good, is it?
That's all right.
Anyway.
We grow them for the flowers,
when
don't we?
you've grown them, how much weight? We tend to pick a couple of pounds, don't we?
No, they don't weigh in pounds. They're grams, if that.
Grams, sorry.
They're very
No,
light.
grams, couple of ounces, grams. Yeah. But we make a tea with them. We put them in the diffuser first to dry, the hydrator.
What's dehydrator?
Yeah, to dry them out.
Yeah.
And then we store them.
Yes, we do.
In airtight jars.
Mm.
Kilner are a good one to store them in, aren't they?
That's advertising, Kat. Other jars are available. Other brands are available. Okay.
Well, maybe Kilner would like to send us a few free jars to put our heads in. Who knows?
Right. Okay. Okay, these are fox and cubs. We've got one plant from the National Wildflower Centre, which is not far from here. It's in Huyton, and but it is no more. It actually went bust a few years ago, and I think the Eden Project wanted to buy them over. It was a really sad thing. It was a charity for national wildflowers in the UK, the only one I think, and we bought loads of stuff like this, and you can see some more of them here.
Just comment on, you know, don't you think it's a real crime almost that we lost that wildflower centre?
Yeah.
Because the National Wildflower Centre, Landlife, they did amazing stuff.
Yeah, they did.
They planted so many areas up in meadows with wildflowers over the years. You lose count.
Well, we know the guy who was the head gardener there, don't we, Richard?
Oh, Richard, yeah. And he's working with Eden now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Richard Scott.
Richard Scott, but he's still keeping the National Wildflower name alive, isn't he?
He is, and
they are planting stuff around the city, aren't they?
There's meadows all around, up at Croxteth Hall,
Yes.
at St Hilda's on Ullet Road.
Yeah.
I think there's some up in Bootle, there's some along the coast road by the river.
Yeah.
And they've done amazing stuff planting wildflowers all over the northwest. But to think that we lost that centre.
I know.
Which was a prime gem in the
northwest
of England, where we had it near Barron Park, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, some really dedicated staff, a team of really good, dedicated, passionate people, and it was just the funds.
It's a tragedy,
But I think
it was some kind of mismanagement going on, wasn't there?
I don't know. I can't say.
I think
Probably.
there was.
I don't know.
I think there was. I mean,
but
reading between the lines.
You know, at the cost of the valuable service they provided, and something that should be built upon and not lost.
But it's good that Richard's carrying on.
Richard's brilliant and carrying on.
What I think I'll do, I'll take you down the front of the plot where we've actually planted some stuff that we actually purchased from the Wildflower Centre when it was going.
We're still building on them. We're getting more and more plants. Agrimony, St John's wort, some primrose. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. Now this area here is near the front of our plot, and it's basically we've left it to go like a hedgerow almost, you know. We quite like that idea, and most of these plants were actually purchased from the National Wildflower Centre. This is one that I've forgotten actually what the name is, but I'll flash it up for you because I'm sure I'll get that. I don't know if it's a ragged robin or what it is, but I'll put that name up. So yeah, these are all things. This is another one that has beautiful variegated leaves, and I think it's called the aluminium plant. And it's just this is such a joy for us every time we arrive at the plot at this time of year. Here we have red campion that grows. It's a woodland plant that grows along the edges of woodland, and always puts on a fantastic display. You can see how the birds love it. This is the start of our apothecary garden. Now when you think of an apothecary garden, you know, don't think of it as like a normal garden where everything's tended and neat and tidy. It's basically full of wildlife and It's a bit wild where you just stick plants in, you know. This is comfrey, by the way, that we've moved here, and we can use that for making comfrey tea. And the bees love it. The bees love comfrey. So we've got our rhubarb in here as well, which you can see that's growing happily away. Some blackberries here that we sort of manage and keep intact. Otherwise, they do go over a bit. Here we've got some. I think this is vetch, a vetch of some kind. It's related to peas. I'm not sure what variety of this is, but it's beautiful. You see these grasses? It's such a joy to run your fingers through. This is a meadow buttercup. Again, one of our purchases from the Wildflower Centre. Fox and cubs coming up. It's a lovely plant, that is. You can see all along the front here, this lovely red campion again, mixed with meadow buttercup. It's such a joy. Here we've got, that's opening up nice. It's a fox and cub. Bees love it, and it just gives such a lovely cottage garden feel to the front of our plot. Wild geranium here, growing there, and various things like this. Again, little delicate flowers there. Another form of vetch. Forgotten again what type that is. But this wild area, I think every plot needs a bit of wildness. We've got some, there's our pond, just there, with frogs in. Being taken over by some duckweed at the moment. But cuckoo spit. It's a great area for wildlife. We're going to be putting in some. So this is our Apothecary Garden. I know it doesn't look like much, but we keep putting stuff in here that will benefit us in some way. Here we got this for £2.50 in B&Q, which is a thornless blackberry, which we want to train up the post here. So we want to train that up and have that going. We're going to put some agrimony in it here and some little wormwood plants we've got growing. So it just means basically how we're going to do it is we're just going to kind of clear a little area, say a little area here, and just put a plant in, but keep the other stuff a bit wild and rugged, because it just adds to it, adds to the naturalness of the area. I'm sure you'll all agree it does make a difference to the plot. It's a lovely thing. So there's quite a few things. I'll put a list up on screen now that you can see of the things that we're planting in our Apothecary Garden. On the side of the shed here, we've got hollyhocks, which are starting to come up. These will be growing soon. Up the side, they should make a nice addition. So, okay, remember our potatoes. First earlies at Sharps Express, and these are, if I can find the label, Wiltshire second earlies. In a previous video I did a thing where I sunk these old Liverpool City Council recycling bins, sunk them in the ground. Well, they're coming up now, as you can see. So they're doing fine. I think the crops have been put back this year by 3 weeks or so, purely because the summer's come so late this year. So yeah, they're doing good. The first early, we should be cropping these quite soon actually. I don't want to See if I can feel a spud down there. I don't want to dig too down. I think I'll give them another couple of weeks before we actually crop them. Potatoes are coming on fine. It's great to see them flourishing at this time. There's about 4 different varieties here. Some main crops, some second earlies. So they're doing well.
Anything from the first earlies yet?
No, I'll give it a few weeks for the first earlies.
Okay.
So
what did we plant potatoes this year? We planted Kestrel,
Shops Express,
Shops Express,
Wiltshire,
Carousel,
Carousel.
some Bartlett's that didn't take.
Yep.
Because we just took them from a potato at home, didn't we?
Yeah.
But the others are tubers.
Yeah.
That's about as many as we've done, I think, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Mm.
But they should. I think everything's been put back a while, hasn't it? Because of the dry weather we had April and the heavy wet rain in May.
Yep.
So we're going to be cropping slightly later into the season, aren't we?
I think we will, yes.
Potatoes won't be due yet till end of June.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Give it till the end of June. Yeah.
Okay.
What things are doing really well?
Well, things are doing really well. The onions are doing really well.
Yeah, they are.
The cabbage, the Durham earlies are doing fabulous.
Yeah.
Except for the slugs having a mini festival.
Slugs have a bit of a festival on them.
Yeah. But we've been picking them off regularly, haven't we?
Yeah.
The shop bought garlic over there.
Mm.
That should be ready for picking soon.
Mm.
Leeks are doing well. Chives, broad beans are doing well, and we haven't been plagued with any black fly just yet.
Okay. This is the old rabbit hutch that we rescued off a skip over winter. I think it was about December time, and here we have it. It's now a Brassica cage. I'll just take this up. We just basically lift it up like this to weed it. We've got some here. We've got black magic kale coming on, lovely, and this is Holland Lake cabbage, which is doing fine, absolutely pristine. It's looking great, considering that we have such a problem with pigeons here on the plot. This cage has been a godsend to us, and it's only got a few nibbles by slugs, so this dry weather is helping. So I'll just put this back down so I can continue. There we go. That works a treat. These are going in today. These are dwarf French beans, purple variety. So we're going to put them in. We'll find space for them, basically. Yeah, it's kind of, we're a bit struggling for space at the moment, but we will get there. These are some Restinia cucumber, which are pickling cucumbers. We're going to be trailing them up these, possibly up here. We put these into the greenhouse, onto the sides of the greenhouse, these trellises. This has a dual effect of, in the middle of summer, if you've got things trailing up the sides of your greenhouse, it kind of acts like a bit of a shade, so it has a cooling effect on things inside the greenhouse, and plus you're maximising your space on the allotment. Already we've got here some sweet peas going up. They're just about to come into flower, so we've got these all going around the plot as well. It's good to have flowers around the plot because it aids in germination. Remember all that wood we cut over winter? We were cutting like hazel and bamboo and some other wood which I can't remember. Well, this is willow, that's it. Willow. Some willow. Well, this is how we basically use it, and it makes a lovely strong rustic frame for climbing beans and stuff like that. This is one of the things we'll be doing with it this year. but we'll be making other structures as well. So we've already started putting in here our climbing French beans and some runner beans as well. There's a few spaces for a few other things. We might sneak in a few cucumbers here as well, but it'd make a nice strong frame here. And we'll grow a few cucumbers on this one here, which is a more sturdy kind of a garden trellis type of thing, the triangular ones. They make great supports for things like cucumbers and stuff. And we've put around here, we've put some dill, because apparently if you put together cucumbers and dill, it increases your crop yield. Apparently so. We did it last year, and we were inundated with cucumbers, weren't we?
We had tons of them. So there must be some kind of chemical
Thing.
relationship between the dill and the cucumbers.
Yeah, there must
which
be.
encourages them to thrive. We have to do a little bit of research into that actually to see exactly what it is.
Yeah, but it does seem to work, doesn't it?
Because it's symbiotic, isn't it, for the two of them? They work really well together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they promote growth.
Yeah.
So
it's a good thing. We'll try.
Thing.
You remember early this year we harvested bamboo. Well, the bamboo is basically cured, and we've started to use this now to stake up plants. Remember a few weeks ago we did a hugelkultur kind of mound where we dug out the soil, and then we put in a lot of dead wood and a bit of compost and stuff like that. Well, now we've actually planted a pumpkin on here, which will hopefully spread over all of this area here. It's pumpkin Big Max, so that should be a big full-size pumpkin plant. So we hope for it to spread all around here. It's all got this space, which should provide some nice ground covering in an area where we don't normally plant anything. So we've made that bed there, hugelkultur, and we've also just done the other day this one here, which you can see is basically it's a mound, but underneath there's lots of wood and woody stuff. I showed you how to do that last time. So these are in areas where we don't normally plant, so we're just kind of like, if you can see, the reason why we don't normally plant them is that they're covered by trees and they get partial shade part of the day. But we thought we'd try this here and see how we get on, basically. These are celeriac, so we've made a bed of celeriac here, which is quite a new crop for us. Well, I don't think we've ever grown celeriac before. We've done celery, but never celeriac. So we've got some of that here. Here you see some salad burnet, which will be transplanted into the Apothecary Garden when they get bigger. So salad burnet there. Supermarket garlic that Catherine mentioned before are starting to go a bit brown here, so I'm presuming that these are getting to a point where they're starting to bulk out a bit. Yeah, you can see they're starting to bulk out there. I think they need to be left in a few weeks until, see, they've got a nice red skin on them.
They're looking good there, aren't they?
Yeah. So, but I think if we leave them in a bit further, a bit longer,
until the foliage fully dies back.
Yeah.
They'll be ready.
Yeah. Broad beans. I think the last time you saw them, they were little tiddy things, and they're kind of they've really grown now. So we're really pleased with the way these have come on. It's a staple for us. Broad beans are something that we've done for many years. In fact, since we started gardening, we've always had a crop of broad beans. And the way to grow them is basically in a clump like this, where they're sort of like all self-supporting, and we basically put string around and stop them flopping over. Basically, in the strong winds, they tend to flop over a bit. But this string that's on these hazel posts that we've created here will actually keep them in this like contained unit, and it's really useful. We just pop them inside the string if they're kind of like growing outside of it, kind of thing. And so I'll just do that. Now I think I'll go around, see how it works. It's a way that we've always grown them, and it kind of works for us. People grow them in different ways, I'm sure, but yeah, that's our broad beans. Right next to our broad beans, we're growing these, which are Legend and Heinz 1385, I think they are.
1350.
1350 variety, and these are bush tomatoes, so these don't need pinching out, and they grow into like a nice compact bush way of growing. So basically we're going to just leave them to their own devices. We may need to stake them up at some point, we don't know.
Not for the bush ones, we don't think.
Well, we may get away with it. We'll see how we're going. Another thing we want to show you is that, see this here we're growing? These are cosmos, some fox and cubs growing here. It's important.
They're lovely, those fox.
We have put things around the plot that are basically flowers, aren't they? To encourage pollinators.
Yeah, we've got wildlife flowers around, haven't we?
And we've got hollyhocks.
Meadow buttercups, we've got hollyhocks, we've got fox and cubs, we've got cosmos.
Yeah.
The chive flowers themselves, the bees,
yes,
absolutely adore them.
Yeah.
So it's nice to let, even though you can use them in your salads, just let some stay just primarily for the bees.
Yeah.
And also the apothecary, we're going to be planting up even more.
Yeah.
So there's a ton of medicinal herbs there as well.
Herbs and flowers.
Draw in a lot of pollinators,
Calendula,
agrimony, herb hyssop. Oh crikey, what else have we got? Wormwood.
Yeah, German chamomile, which is a different type of chamomile. It grows differently.
One. Yeah.
And all various things like that. And not only does it make the plot more attractive, but it increases pollinators, doesn't it?
Definitely.
Which is very important when you're growing stuff.
Yeah, you need to build up on your flowers, on your allotment, because I mean, how else do you get your crops pollinated?
Exactly.
And also it provides a fantastic food source as well, for pollinators, which is what they need.
That's right.
I mean, we noticed a thing about the bees, didn't we? On the Cotonista.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At home, they this time of year they're insatiable. They absolutely adore it. Yeah. They're there from like early morning till dusk because it's like a hungry gap for them.
Well, we're going to do another vlog on that, aren't we, on the Cotonista?
Yeah. But it's just to highlight how important these things are.
Yeah, they are. People get so wrapped up in growing stuff that they forget that, hang on, you need insects to pollinate stuff.
Definitely.
And you need to attract them. You need to make it wildlife friendly, don't you?
Of course.
So you need to, as many invertebrates
as you can. Yeah, and you're giving back a food source to them, because after all, we share this space with them.
Absolutely. Our allium bed and onions from seed are starting to bulb out. These are Japanese sensu onions that are looking fine. It's nice to see them at this stage when they start to bulk out a bit, and you can see all the other onions we've got growing. All from seed.
That was good.
Was it any good, that?
Well, we show people how beautifully the chamomile are blooming at the moment, and all the different crops we're growing. We're growing so many different types of onions this year, all grown from seed.
Oh, I'm losing the will to live. You know what? Come down here.
I think the sun's got to your head.
The will to live.
So, what's the overall update then?
The update is that
Well,
if
round
you've
up.
enjoyed this video, then please give it the like. Put your thumb up. Give us the likes. Put your thumb up.
No,
Leave a
ring the
comment.
bell, Phil.
Ring
bell.
ring that.
Okay.
It's like what all YouTubers ask you to do, but you've never known why they ask you to do that.
Maybe we should just stop asking and see what people want to
We
do
don't.
themselves.
I mean, do what you want. You know. Yeah.
Give people the choice.
Get out and enjoy the sunshine. Stop watching videos. Stop sitting in front of the telly. That's what you do in winter. It's June, for God's sake. Get out there and enjoy the plot. Enjoy your garden.
Okay, well, here in the greenhouse at the minute, we're going to be lifting these elephant garlic shortly, aren't we? To make
We
way
are.
for tomatoes and peppers. Yeah?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. It's too hot. Brain's going to mush.
All right, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.